It's a ghost town, we're in this together. They're closing all the stores down, we're heading for shelter. It's all war now, they'll always remember. We're locking all our doors down, we're sticking together. It's a ghost town. It's a ghost town, we're in this together. They're closing all the stores down, we're heading for shelter. It's all war now, they'll always remember. We're locking all our doors down, we're sticking together. It's all ghost town.
I know there's something in the wake of your smile. I get a notion from the look in your eyes. You've built a love, but that love falls apart. Your little piece of heaven turns to dark. Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why, but listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye. Sometimes you wonder if this fight is worthwhile. The precious moments are all lost in the tide. We're swept away, and nothing is what it seems. The feeling of belonging to your dreams. Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why, but listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. Listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye. Listen to your heart.
persecuting of the Christians, Saint Constantine. Those Christians down there, Colosseum full of these glories, and to be the martyrs no more. They 95 Theses on All Saints Day Eve. Grace we receive. Money won't get us a reprieve. Just need faith and to believe. His name is Martin Luther. Looking for some truth, yeah. Reformation grew, yeah.
Welcome to CLACCA ULC. Apologies for the tech difficulties that we've experienced today. But if you're just joining us, regardless of where you're joining us, welcome to CLACCA Universal Life Church. My name is Mr. Rev Comrade Rowley, and I would like to acknowledge that the land that we're meeting on is of the Gadigal and the Wangal people of the Eora Nation. Pay my respects to the elders, both past and present, and recognise sovereignty, treaty, and social justice has never been ceded. Wherever you're watching this live stream, please welcome. Welcome. In case you hadn't noticed, we're a bit countercultural and compared to what the mainstream churches are playing in terms of the kind of the kind of music, kind of Christian music that we play. I remember. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is, but like personally, I think that music from God, music from God, it has to relate to our time, and it has to reach. It has to relate to our time, and it has to reach today's generation. And so, simply because a song may not necessarily be in a hymn book, but is relating to a culture of our time, and is relating to is saying a message from God to this generation. I don't think that the music should be disregarded or excluded from, regardless of the Christian church, if it's sending a clear, social justice message from God to today's generation, then let's not disregard or dismiss it's countercultural music, especially for today's generation, because this is what the Christian LGBTIQA plus youth are listening to. It's certainly music that I grew up with, and I personally I got really bored. I get really bored with listening to gender binary Christian music. Music can get a little bit frustrated with it. So the kind of music that I listen to is very progressive, very liberation, very countercultural, and it's no different to the kind of music that black people were singing to fight for their freedom and their liberation. Asian. So I think that let's embrace this music as opposed to opposing it. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. So there's a few announcements. On CLACCA ULC. Firstly, in terms of Fair Day and in terms of Mardi Gras, we still have a few spots available. So if you would like to register, go to CLACCA. Go to claccaulcsydney.godaddysites.com. We also have and I would just bring it up. Yeah, we have just created a poster, and I'm just going to put this on the screen. So if you would like to get involved, click on this QR code, and this will show you all the information on how to register with CLACCA ULC's Mardi Gras church protest entry. entry. We will be having this on display at CLACCA Universal Life Church, etc. We welcome your amendments right up until we print it off and put it on our church fair day stall. But essentially, if you want a free Mardi Gras parade protest Humanitax ticket entry, then you need to register with CLACCA ULC just by scanning this QR code. So we've tried to simplify the registration process to try and make it as simple as possible. This QR code will take you directly to the Facebook link which contains the Humanitax ticket link and then just follow the instructions, then get in contact with us to let us know your postcode and if you've got any legal ID issues. From what we're understanding from the Mardi Gras briefing that we attended last weekend, they are doing legal ID checking, and you will need a Humanitax Mardi Gras ticket in order to get in. It's no longer like a wristband. It's no longer like the old wristband system that used to be. It's very much a case of you do need a Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras parade entry ticket, but to get them, you've got to register with your float entry. It's the same rules that applies to everybody, not just CLACCA ULC. So to get it, we've tried to make this as simple as possible. Just scan this QR code, and it'll take you directly to the event to register all your details. Also, we are having details, so I'm going to stop sharing that. Okay. The other thing we are having is our last Zoom organizing meeting. I'll just put the details back up on the screen, just in case you didn't get it. Get it? So I just going to put the details back onto the screen. So yeah, so this is what I was saying before. I'll just get the okay, that's not quite it. Okay, we're going to close that one and see if it will. No. Okay, we're going to try again. There we are. Cool. So this is the QR code that I was telling you about, in which you need to scan our QR code. So if you scan that pink and blue thing, we've made it in the transgender colors. That will take you to the Facebook event, and that contains the Humanitax ticket link. You will need the Humanitax ticket link. You will need a Humanitax ticket issued by the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras but to get that, it's the same rule that applies for every Mardi Gras float entry. You have to register. You must register with the Mardi Gras entry that you're intending on marching with. The tickets are not transferable or transferable to another entry, meaning like you couldn't go and get a ticket from CLACCA ULC and then take that to go march with another entry, and likewise they're not transferable for Sydney World Pride events. So if you just scan on this is the poster that we're going to be having on our Fair Day stall. So in order to get volunteers, we've got about 8 registered so far, and we've still got 2 spots left. So in order to get those tickets, please scan this QR code that I'm pointing this arrow to. And I think that's all for the information. And so and then when you click on, once you've clicked on that QR code, it will then take you to this ticket link. And I apologize if I'm spending a bit of time. So then it will take you to this ticket link. You need to click on that button there that I'm pointing the arrow to and register your details with CLACCA ULC in order to get the tickets. And then once you have registered your details, you then need to email your postcode as well as a copy of your legal ID to CLACCA ULC. It's okay if you don't have legal ID, any sort of ID that you've got, as long as it's got your name, as long as it's got your whatever name that you want to be called on it. We do accept ULC clergy ID, D if you're still fighting for transgender recognition in Australia or for whatever reason. In the event where you don't have legal ID, CLACCA ULC's recommendation is get a Commonwealth statutory declaration. The reason why we're having to go through this is because Mardi Gras have brought in a legal ID check-in system. From CLACCA ULC's position, we don't necessarily agree with the legal ID check-in system. We think that the wristband system was a much better system that used to be operating. But essentially, in order to get that Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras ticket link, the reason why we're having to do this is so that we can manually enter everyone's details, and then Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras from the 22nd, they have extended the deadline from the 22nd of February, then emails you a ticket. CLACCA ULC also has a copy of the ticket, and then you need to bring that on the actual day. Then the other thing you need to do, more importantly, is you also need to, and I will just see if I can get it up. If it will let me. Okay. So once you've done that, then if you go back to the event, you will notice. So I will just click on that. You will notice that we're meeting at Sydney Town Hall from 2 p.m. And the reason why we've suggested for everyone to meet at 2 p.m. is because at 3 p.m. The gates open for float marshals to go and get lanyards. The gates open for CLACCA ULC to go and get the lanyards, as well as the CLACCA ULC float sign. We kind of want this to be a group effort, because our collective numbers will ensure this continues to remain a safe event, because CLACCA ULC works together as a team. We're not a group of individuals that works in isolation. So essentially, we're planning to meet at Sydney Town Hall, and then once we meet at Sydney Town Hall, which is the traditional protest site for most protests in Sydney, we will then be heading to the marshalling area that is located in Hyde Park. But the gates open from 3 o'clock. Because we imagine it will be a bit of a lineup. Because they've got something over the vicinity of 300 entries to get through. It will be a bit of a lineup. So essentially, that's why we're suggesting to be there early, and our check-in time is 4:15 p.m. And so that's why we've allowed 2 hours, because we don't want to rush everyone on the day, and we want to allow for latecomers. We also want to allow for latecomers, etc., because anything can happen, and we want to make sure everyone is together. But for further details in relation to that, our strong suggestion is come to the Zoom organizing meeting. At 2 p.m. This Friday, and the details of that are on our Facebook event page, and I'll just show you where you can find. So whenever we refer to a CLACCA ULC event, if you event on our Facebook page, you can see that all our events are usually listed on our CLACCA ULC Facebook page. We have tried to do a working bee every Saturday. So you can see the next event is the Fair Day stall at 5, and our next event is the CLACCA ULC Fair Day stall from 5:30 p.m. And the reason why we're such an early start on Fair Day is because that's our bumping time. So by no means you do not have to get there at 5:30 p.m. CLACCA ULC will be there. We'll be there until all our free stuff is gone. But essentially, we usually give from 5:30. I personally look in doing the history of Fair Day stalls. Also, I'm just going to go back to, So as I was saying, for CLACCA ULC, our next event is happening at Fair Day, and we're just going to exit full screen. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But essentially, So if you click on that, It should take you there. And so this is what I was talking about previously, in terms of our Facebook events. Events. If you go to just there, our event, you can see we're meeting at Sydney Town Hall for the Mardi Gras entry, and the reason is because we have to go and pick up our marshal stuff at 3 o'clock. And so traditionally, we always meet ahead of time. And so that's why the time is a little bit early. And I think that is all the details, and they're all the requirements in terms of the event. Yeah, and I think that is all that I had to. I think that's all I had to inform you on. The other more important details is next Sunday, CLACCA ULC will be at Fair Day. So please come along, etc. CLACCA ULC will be live streaming our Sunday church as planned from 5 p.m. 5 p.m. So we look forward to you joining us for that live stream. CLACCA ULC will be myself will be going to the Human Rights Conference. I did wind up donating. I did get issued recently. I just got issued a scholarship that I wound up donating to. Wound up donating to somebody else because I already had an affordability ticket. But CLACCA USC does not have free tickets to the Human Rights Conference. To get those, you need to contact Sydney World Pride yourself. However, CLACCA USC does have has applied for 4 tickets to the Human Rights Conference, and on Mardi Gras night we will be drawing the winners of those 4 tickets out of a hat, because they only issued us with about 4 tickets. So if you miss out on the Human Rights Conference, there's a good chance you will be able to get a ticket to the Sydney Pride March. And I think that is all I had to inform you on in relation to that. The other important announcement is Pride in Protest. They are organising a protest outside of Fair Day at the Newtown Hub from about 12 o'clock. For further details in relation to that, you can go to the Pride and Protest Facebook page for further details in relation to that. That in relation to CLACCA, you will see Fair Day giveaways. Free Fair Day giveaways. We've had a Greens councillor, a deputy mayor from the City of Sydney, who have endorsed our CLACCA USC free giveaways. Because it is political policing, and we will be working with Greens deputy mayor for a more inclusive, transgender inclusive sustainability policy, because we do not it's not doing, we in no way, shape or form, we are not going to accept political policing on the free distribution of protest materials from any group, and especially we're not going to tolerate political policing towards any transgender person that distributes printed materials, free printed materials for the cause in the community. And I think that is all that we had to inform on that. Cool. So also the other important announcement to come up is we are having open communion. So if you would like to join us for open communion, we will be having grape juice and bread. So please stay tuned for that. Right now, I want to bring you CLACCA ULC's message for this week. And this message comes from True Worship. And it's from Exodus 21 to 7, 1 Corinthians 1 to 22 to 25, and John 2 13 to 25. And it says this: in the rich content of this Sunday's text, a powerful theme stands out. Believing in God means putting all our trust in God. The idolatry of money is contrary to faith in God, who demands genuine worship. John has presented the start of Jesus' mission in Cana of Galilee into 1 to 12. Here we have the first confrontation with the authorities of the Jewish people. This takes place in Jerusalem and more specifically in the temple. The synoptics put this event toward the end of Jesus' ministry. Passover is a celebration of liberation. What the Lord finds in the temple is a new form of oppression of the people, which perverts the worship due to the jealous God in Exodus 25. The people are entering into a relationship with God by way of money. As a result, they are finding and oppressing God, not the parent who liberates them from slavery. The house of the parent who loves and liberates their people has become a marketplace, which is exploiting and degrading. The high priests who are behind the trading take place in the temple are getting richer. The people selling animals and the money changers who receive Roman money, which cannot be offered because it is pagan, and give the coins for the temple are merely intermediaries. Jesus' protests and rejection affect the powerful interests, the interests of those who have replaced God without denying God openly by greed, which Paul calls idolatry. Paradoxically, this subtle, incipient substitution is often justified by religious arguments. Not one of us is immune from this. Today's gospel invites us to examine our consciences both at the personal and ecclesial level. Jesus' harshness with those selling doves calls our attention, but the reason for this is clear. Doves were used by the poorest people for the purification sacrifices. As a result, in a special way, those selling them represented the exploitation of the poor through worship. This explains why Jesus is very annoyed. The attitude of a true believer toward the poor has to be the very opposite. In his encyclical Centesimus Annus, number 55, John Paul II underscores this by asking us to sell what is luxurious, which we attempt to justify as necessary for ourselves or God's worship, in order to change it into food, drink, clothing, and housing for the poor. The Lord died for that. We are committed to this type of detachment by our proclaiming Christ is crucified in 1 Corinthians 1:23, even though it causes scandal. We can conceal our greed behind reasons and even religious motives, but the Lord, who knows what is in the human heart, will not allow, in John 2:23, will not allow us to misuse his name. In Exodus 23. This message particularly relates in relation to the pink tainment that is around Fair Day. What I've been able to learn from the 70s is that Fair Day started as a picnic that was community driven, and was indeed, it was not a marketplace. It was not a marketplace that was about going against people doing free giveaways, both for sustainability of the earth and the planet, as well as due to a lack of resources, or in favor of turning it into a marketplace for the wealthy. Wealthy in no way, shape, or form was Fair Day intended to be a marketplace for the wealthy, and just as Jesus' temple was not intended to be a marketplace for the wealthy. And so that is why I had to stand up to it. I had to stand up to it for transgender rights, and there is no way, shape, or form I was going to put up with that kind of political policing going on against free giveaways. Free giveaways that in most cases uses recycled and reusable materials, but more importantly, very much stands in line with Jesus's mission, and is something that in no way, shape, or form should be exploited. Exploited for idolatry and greed. We're now going to go to our next song of praise, and then we will go to Open Communion. And our next song of praise is This Is Me, and it's a pride song. This Is Me, and it's a pride song, and then we will go to Open Communion.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me.
it's time for open communion. Cool. One thing that always works in CLACCA ULC is open communion. On the night that Jesus was betrayed, Jesus took the loaf of bread and broke it and said, this is my body, which is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me. In the same way, after supper, Jesus took the cup and blessed it, saying, this cup is a new covenant of my blood, which is poured out for you. Do this in remembrance of me. This table does not belong to the state. It doesn't belong to any church. It belongs to God, and all are welcome to the table. Please come and share in this meal. Heal and do so without prejudice. Our next song of praise is Kippur's. No, we're going to go. We're going to go with Fear is a Liar by Zach Williams.
When he told you you're not good enough, when he told you you're not right, when he told you you're not strong enough to put up a good fight, when he told you you're not worthy, when he told you you're not loved, when he told you you're not beautiful, you'll never be enough. Stop you in your steps. Fear is a liar. He will rob your rest, steal your happiness, cast your fear in the fire. 'Cause fear, he is a liar. When he told you you were trouble, you'll forever be alone. When he told you you should run away, you'll never find a home. When he told you you were dirty, you should be ashamed. When he told you you could be the one, the grace can never change. Oh, he will take your Let your fire fall and cast out all my fear. Let your fire fall, your love's all I fear. Let your fire fall and cast out all my fear. Let your fire fall, your love is all I fear. Let your fire fall and cast out all my fear. Let your fire fall, your love is all I feel. Oh, let your fire fall and cast out all my fears. Let your fire fall, your love is all I feel.
Now, if you would like to donate to CLACCA Universal Life Church, you can do so at CLACCA Universal Life Church, BSB 112879, account number 495-470-290, or gofund.me/D16910E99 all funds go to keeping the life and work of CLACCA ULC going. It helps to crowdfund our events so we can keep them free of charge to the public for anyone who wants to get involved. It also helps cover the costs in terms of CLACCA ULC. CLACCA ULC has to use secondhand equipment that sometimes doesn't always work, and has to rely on recycled and reusable resources. Also, so anything you can donate to support the life and work that we do is greatly appreciated. It also contributes towards the cost of legal registration, etc., for CLACCA Universal Life Church. And now we're going to go with our final song of praise, which is Affirmation by Savage Garden.
sex is more important than monogamy. I believe your most attractive features are your heart and soul. I believe that family is worth more than money or gold. I believe the struggle for financial freedom isn't fair. I believe the only one to disagree are millionaires. I believe in karma, what you give and what you get returned. I believe you can appreciate real life till you've been burned. I believe the grass is no more greener on the other side. I believe you don't know what you got until you say goodbye. I believe forgiveness is the key to your unhappiness. I believe that wedded bliss negates the need to be undressed. I believe that God does not endorse TV evangelists. I believe in love surviving death into eternity. I believe in karma, what you give and what you get returned. I believe you can appreciate real love till you've been burned. I believe the grass is no more greener on the other side. I believe you don't know what you got until you say goodbye. I believe in karma, what you give and what you get returned. I believe you can appreciate real love till you've been burned. I believe the grass is no more greener on the other side. I believe you don't know what you got until you say goodbye. Until you say goodbye. Oh no, 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 no. No, no, no,
Thank you very much for joining CLACCA ULC. We will see you next Sunday at Fair Day. Fair Day. Fair Day. For further information on CLACCA ULC events, etc., head to our website at claccaulc.co.uk. My name is Mr. Rev, Comrade Rowley. Regardless of your religious belief, regardless of where you're tuning into, if you believe in the cause, you're welcome to continue to support the life and work of CLACCA ULC. God bless. Bye for now, and we will see you next week.